Doctors, what's the most wholesome thing a patient has ever done? I was performing surgery on an 8-year-old girl when we ran into a serious problem. We needed AB negative blood. It's the rarest blood type in the world, and our hospital didn't have a single unit. But there was one person who did, her twin brother, who was sitting in the hallway with their parents. I gently pulled him aside and explained that his sister's life depended on this. I asked if he'd be willing to donate. He went quiet and stared at the floor for a long moment. His eyes began to well up, but then he gave a small, brave nod and whispered, "Okay." Before walking with me, he hugged his parents tightly, said goodbye, and wiped his eyes. I assumed he was just scared of the needle, so I tried to comfort him, told him how brave he was and that he was saving his sister's life. We drew the blood, and during the whole process, he kept quietly mumbling something I couldn't quite catch. Once we finished, I gently unhooked him and told him he could relax now. That's when he looked up at me with a confused expression and softly asked, "So, is it going to happen soon?" I smiled and said, "We're starting your sister's surgery right away," but he shook his head slightly and replied, "No, I meant, when am I going to die?" That's when it hit me. The reason he was so emotional, the reason he hugged his parents like it was the last time, was because he thought giving his blood meant he wouldn't survive. He truly believed he was sacrificing his life to save his sister. In that moment, I could barely hold back tears. I knelt beside him and told him, no, he wasn't going to die. In fact, thanks to him, both he and his sister would be just fine and going home together very soon.